want some sauce?
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Let's make some sandwich bread. Okay, now this is actually quite easy. You don't need a mixer for it. The mixer just makes things a lot easier. I hope I have enough flour. Well, I only had 3 cups of flour, and that's probably going to be enough for what I'm going to be making anyway, because it's only going to be for one person. It's about 1/4 cup of sugar. This is the instant yeast. You don't really have to get this stuff to bloom the same way as you would with the active dry yeast. This stuff you can pretty much just put inside the mix here, and you're usually good. About 3/4 teaspoon, almost a teaspoon of salt. You guys know that, you guys that have been watching before, you know that one of my secret ingredients to all breads is instant dry milk. And that might have been 1/4 package, maybe 1/2 package. Cup of water. Let's go ahead and start mixing this on low. And what we want to do is we want to see kind of the consistency before we decide to add more water to it. And don't go crazy with the water, it's easy to overdo it. I'm just going to be putting maybe a tablespoon in at a time until this gets to the consistency that I'm looking for. Right about there looks about right to me, okay, for now. And we're going to let this knead for about maybe 10 minutes. We want to get that gluten built up inside there, but we don't want to over knead it either. Okay, so it's been about 8 minutes or so, and this is actually really close to what I'm looking for. It's semi-sticky. Because this is a little sticky, I'm going to spray a little bit of this Crisco stuff inside here. Okay, I'm going to cover this up with some saran wrap, and I'm going to let it proof. And it's maybe going to take an hour, and it should double in size. Okay, so it has proofed, and what we want to do is kind of knock it down a little bit. Okay, and we're going to take this out, and then we're going to put this in our bread pan, which I have already got out here, and I have sprayed a little bit of that what do they call that, Pam, but it's like a Crisco. So pretty much just like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this rise in the pan out here for maybe 10 minutes, and then after that, I'm throwing it in the oven. It's going to be 375 degrees for about 25 minutes or so. So I am using some frozen shrimp right here, and these are large shrimp. Larger the better, okay? And since they are frozen, I'm going to be thawing them. These are also, you're going to notice that these are uncooked. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to soak these guys in water and let the water just kind of mix with the ice and slowly defrost them. Okay, and at the end of an hour, they should be thawed out enough for me to go ahead and do what I need to do, because I need to butterfly these guys. Okay, what we got here, I have already done it. It's half starch, half flour. The starch that I'm using here, sweet potato starch, but you can use potato, you can use corn starch, it doesn't make a difference. But half flour, half starch. We're going to be putting salt in this. We're going to be putting crushed black pepper. We're going to be putting crushed. Yeah, don't be putting any red peppers in this. If you want to put some crushed red pepper in this. And a lot of you guys ask me, hey, where did you get that pepper mill? I bought this maybe 10 years ago. I don't even remember where. I think it was maybe Bed Bath & Beyond or something like that. I really don't remember. Okay. This is garlic powder. This is onion powder. I'm going to put a little bit of cayenne in this. A little paprika. This is smoked paprika. Okay, so everything that I have put inside this so far, what do you really need to put in order to get that flavor? Quite honestly, just the salt. Okay, the pepper, the garlic, the onion, the paprika, these are things that I'm just adding to make it a little bit more over the top. And I'm putting it in this and not on the actual breading. This is like a pre-breading. For those people that have just recently became part of the human race, these are eggs. Get used to seeing them. They're all over the place. I'm going to put just a little bit of cream in here, even though it's not really necessary. I'm going to put it in there anyway. You can put buttermilk. If you want to, you can just use egg and water. You could just use the milk if you wanted to, okay? But egg is like glue. So we're at 375 degrees. This guy goes in. It smells really good in here, and it's about 20 minutes. And, you know, luckily I was thinking about checking this out, because a lot of times the smell will tell you when something's done, right? You don't even have to really look at the time. But I forgot, this is not for 2 loaves. This is only for 1, right? So the time's going to be a little different. So when I pull this out, I can see that it's getting there. It's got about another 5 to 10 minutes. But it smells really good in here. Let's take that out of there so it doesn't burn. And then residual heat is going to go ahead and cook the rest of that, but this is going to be just fine. So I'm going to be using this device, physics, right, to cut these potatoes up real easy so I don't have to do it. This is a lucky wishbone, so can't have the peels on. I'm going to have to go ahead and peel these guys before they go into the cutter. So how does this thing work? You take a potato, you stick it inside there, put your weight behind that sumbitch, and now we've got a whole bunch of little potatoes. Okay, this is almost the same way as you would do it if you were going to be doing In-N-Out burger. Okay, but let's go ahead and do a few more of those, and we'll be ready to fry those bastards. Okay, we're going to get ready to fry these fries. Shortening would be best to fry all this stuff in. Okay, but we're going to do the fries, and you say, hey, there's stuff in there. Yeah, it's French fries. Okay, this is my French fry oil that I've been using. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to bring this up. Well, not the temperature matters, but like around 350, okay? And that's usually typically around medium-high heat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook these guys for probably about 5 minutes. And we want them to be almost done. Not quite. I'd say maybe 75% finished. We're going to take them out. We're going to let them sit for a few minutes. We're going to let that steam and that residual heat kind of keep cooking. Then we're going to throw them back in. And then we're going to, it's called double frying. And it's going to make them a lot more crispy. Okay, that's the trick. So let's go ahead and get this nice and hot. All right, so I have celiac disease, right? So I can't have wheat. And then I cut off the end here, and I was curious because it smelled so good in here, and I haven't had bread in a long time. I thought, you know, I should taste it. So I took a bite and I was chewing on it, and it tasted so good. I had to spit it out because it tasted so good, because if I would have swallowed it, I would have got sick. So when people ask you, hey, does Will spit or swallow? I spit, guys. Can't swallow. Make me sick. But what we're going to do is we're going to end up cutting some slices off here, because this is going to end up being our garlic butter bread. Okay, I specifically made this just for this. Okay, and it's not as high as you would expect, you know, tall, but it's because there was a cup I didn't have. I ran out. I only had 3 cups of flour. As soon as you throw fries in, it's going to lower the temperature of the oil. So if you put a whole bunch inside here right now, it's going to lower the temperature considerably. So a lot of times what you want to do is you actually want the temperature to be a little bit higher than it needs to be. So when it lowers, it's actually at the point that you want it to be. And you'll see that as I start adding things, the oil level rises. So don't overdo this, because you don't want this to boil over and start a grease fire, unless that's actually what you want to do, which would be strange. Okay, so we got some of these guys floating, and then if I come over here and I pick them up, you're going to see that they look like they're almost done, but they're not quite. Okay, this is when we want to take them out. I also have my video up on how to make perfect French fries. I highly recommend you go and watch that. Okay, so we have our fries that look like this right now, okay? And now we're going to put them back in. And by doing so, these are going to brown up pretty fast. You're going to see that they're going to fry aggressively as well, because all of that water, that steam from earlier, came to the surface. But these are going to brown up and they're going to crisp. You see how they're browning already? Look how quick that was. And these things are crisp right now. They're really crisp. Let me give them another second or so, and then we're going to take them out. Not too shabby. I don't know if you can hear that. Those are crunchy. Got our egg, got our dredging flour and starch with our seasoning. Regular breadcrumbs. Let's butterfly this from the back, like this, okay? And then from here what we'll do is we'll just kind of separate it, like so. You know, put it down. To make sure that it stays this shape, I'm hitting it like that, okay? Because that's kind of a Lucky Wishbone looking shrimp right there. From here, we're going to dredge it, which basically means we're just going to end up putting this inside our flour and starch, which takes the moisture basically away from the shrimp itself, okay? We're going to dip it inside here, the egg and the milk. As soon as we're done with that, we're going to end up taking this and we're going to end up covering the shrimp in just regular breadcrumbs, like this. And that will be one of our shrimp. A lot of times their shrimp is completely battered, including the tail. So if I take this and I just throw it inside here, okay, like that, right back at it, get the excess off. Okay, we can call that shrimp number 2. Now if you want this to be like Lucky Wishbone, don't put a lot of the seasoning that I put in it, okay? I'm making these look like Lucky Wishbone and everything like that, but they're going to have a different, they're going to have a little bit of a different flavor because a lot of the seasonings I put in here, Lucky Wishbone doesn't put in. We're going to drop some shrimp in here. Make sure that they don't touch one another. Shrimp cook pretty quick, so don't walk away from this. They make it's a toast that they end up putting a clarified butter that's got a little bit of garlic on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some butter inside. I had put these in the oven so they're a little toasted. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of garlic powder, not a lot, something like that, just enough. And then we're going to let these guys absorb some butter and brown up almost like a grilled cheese sandwich. Okay, so I put some butter here on top just like I'm making a grilled cheese. I put a little bit of garlic powder on there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, flip it over, just like a grilled cheese. As soon as the other side looks like that, I take it off, I plate it, and we're golden. Now that smells good. Oh, but wait a minute. You know what we forgot? The sauce. Let's make some sauce. Hey Luna, did you want some shrimp? Alright, cocktail sauce. Lucky Wishbone style. Ketchup. And this is good on the fries, it's good on the shrimp, it's good on everything. Did you want some shrimp too? I know you're smelling. And then what we have is some horseradish here that we want to mix into this for our cocktail sauce. And that's it, really. I mean, pretty simple. I honestly think that Lucky Wishbone waters theirs down a little bit, which, you know, economically makes sense. I'm not trying to diss them. I love Lucky Wishbone, you know. My wife really likes their fried gizzards and their steak fingers, and that's why last time I did a video on how to make their steak fingers. Maybe next time I'll do how to do the gizzards. There we go, guys. That is that. And I'm telling you, this is bomb. This is the bomb right here. You know, if you're out of, if you're from Arizona, from Tucson, and you know you miss Lucky Wishbone, I'm hooking you up. This is going to bring back memories. This is going to take you back to Tucson, because Lucky Wishbone is a Tucson tradition, man. Lucky Wishbone, EG's. I mean, those two things. Gordo's. That's another one. You know, there's a lot of things that it's Tucson. When somebody says it, takes you back, man. Takes you back. Greasy Tony's, that one. I don't even know if that's still open, right? Greasy Tony's, another one. You know. But there you go, guys. What is that? A pop shrimp? A mom shrimp? Doesn't make a difference. Delicious. Anyway, let's get a taste tester in here.
That sauce is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Tastes like Lucky Wishbone?
It's actually better. I can taste the shrimp. You eat shrimp at the restaurants or wherever. It's like, where's the shrimp? The fries is good. You made these too?
What?
Fried? Look how crispy they are. I can tell because the potatoes. I love the sauce.
It tastes like Lucky Wishbone sauce.
How did you make it? I like the sauce. Ketchup.
And horseradish.
That's it?
That's it.
It's not greasy at all.
No, fried doesn't.
Look at it. It's not, I don't even. No, not greasy. Okay, I'm going to taste it. That potato is good.
Of course it is.
Yum. Oh, I've been eating like high fiber, healthy stuff for how many days?
This is healthy.
No, I'm talking about no fried foods.
This is what Caitlyn Jenner was eating every day until transition.
My God's bread is good.
Well, that is not as greasy as Lucky Wishbone's bread.
Oh, Lucky Wishbone.
Lucky Wishbone's has so much that it starts collapsing in the middle. Like,
That's it. That's why I don't like their toast. I know lots of people.
I do.
I don't.
My heart does
It's okay, but it's not. I don't know. It's not the best. It's too like this bread is thin and crispy. You can hear the crunch. But Lucky Wishbone, the middle is, to me, is soggy. I don't know.
Well, it is because it's full of butter.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
It's fucking delicious. It's
Yeah,
like
well, no, I'm not
your
saying.
heart is like not loving you, but your tongue and stomach is going yummy.
Oh my God, you have to make more sauce. Look at that. It's almost gone. I only had 3 shrimp.
I know.
And
It
look at
goes
that.
quick because I know the same thing. It's like I made it once, and I made some fries for myself, and I ate all that damn sauce, and then my stomach started hurting real bad because of the seasoning
You have to fill it
and the
up.
ketchup.
Not fill it up, but close to the top.
When you run out, I'll make more. Anyway, that's that. Make sure you click like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Check out my other videos. I got a shitload. That's a large number, by the way, for those that don't really know how to do the math on that. And until next time, talk to you later.